Welcome to the Bev Boys Basketball Broadcast, where we talk Bevs, basketball, and whatever else really comes to our mind. I'm Alvin. Joining me today is Tyler.
What's up?
And Nick.
Hey, you know what it is.
I do know what it is. And what it is the Bevs. And today we're going to start with Tyler. What you got, man?
Need a little intro music first. Let's see if you guys can guess it.
Sprite.
Okay.
You thirsty, please get Sprite. My bitch like it don't die tonight. I just wanna dance with you, baby.
I heard that like initial little like
That's what it is.
porn, and I was like, I know exactly what you're going for.
Yeah.
Had some leftover Sprite. Might as well use it. Cheers to you boys.
Sprite.
Oh, it's flat.
Just the way I like it.
Oh God.
Perfect for recovering from sickness, really.
Sure.
Is it really? I can't tell if you're
Yeah, that's what people do with like the flu and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would it be good for the coronavirus flu? Maybe not.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
If only.
Yeah.
If only it was that easy. Sprite would be.
There would be a lot fewer people dead. There's
Yeah,
a lot
everybody
of
just be chugging
people
Sprite all
drink
day.
Sprite. Yeah.
People could get on board with that one.
All of a sudden, Vince Staples is just a billionaire from his Sprite commercials.
What's
Okay.
What's the review on Sprite?
Yeah.
It's confirmed good when not flat. I'm a Sprite fan. Like if I go to McDonald's, I get Sprite over Coke. That's just me. I know Nick's shaking his head. I know he disapproves, but I've always been more of a Sprite fan than like
I can
a Coke
respectfully
fan.
disagree.
You may.
I will.
I get water at McDonald's.
Good.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Nick, what you got?
All right. So I was looking around and this caught my eye.
Oh, boy.
And I've never seen anything like it before. It's called Liquid Death.
Oh hell.
And it's literally just sparkling water. But like I started reading it and like there's some funny shit on here. So when a group of teenagers set off into the mountains for a weekend of drinking regular water in plastic bottles, they became hunted by an aluminum can of mountain water that was dead set on murdering their thirsts and recycling their souls. So it's all about basically just like they donate a shit ton to like apparently like every can you buy, 10% of what they make off it goes to like recycling plastic and shit like that. So like it's for a good cause, but I was like, all right, Liquid Death, huh? Like I thought it was going to be like a hard seltzer because of the name, but apparently it's literally just
Flavored water.
Yep.
Sparkling water.
yeah, literally just no flavor, just sparkling water.
Liquid Death is a potion in Harry Potter. That's why it sounds familiar. Anyway.
Once cracked open, no thirst is safe from liquid death.
Liquid Death.
So it's not bad. Like it's not overly carbonated like some are. We're kind of like just like it's a little too burny when you drink it. It's like the perfect amount. It's actually like it's pretty solid. It's very refreshing. It's definitely it's killing my thirst.
Good.
Is it very expensive or is it not bad?
Nah, it was like the same price of like a bottle of water. So it's pretty solid.
Cool.
Yeah, Liquid Death. Check it out.
Was this at your super discerning 7-Eleven?
Hell yeah.
Okay, cool. We should do like a seltzer water taste test. Like we all get the same beverages one time and just take shots and talk about them.
Interesting. That's a whole another podcast right there. So just sampling beverages.
Just Bevs podcast.
Yeah.
JBP. Just Bevs. Wait, Just Bevs podcast.
JBP.
JBPC.
Is podcast two words?
DC
or just
podcast
one?
is one word.
Pretty sure it's just one
One
word.
word?
Yeah.
I'm a horrible speller, so I don't know.
Yikes town.
Wish this
All
was
right.
Spike.
Well, I got this at Harmon's. For those who don't know, you know what Harmon's is. Come on. Okay. All
It's
right.
a bougie
You're
grocery store.
listening to this,
Continue.
probably. Yeah. Sinwink
Sunwink.
Sunwink.
Oh,
Detox
Ginger.
Yeah. Real herbs for daily wellness.
that sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, it's got 4 times more herbs than the average 2,000 milligram tea bag,
That's a lot of herbs.
or a 2 gram.
Many herbs.
No, milligram is 100 grams. So, anyways, do not shake. I'm bubbly, so we're gonna give this a shot really quick. The open is nice. Yeah, that's gingery. Well, it's not that gingery actually. Not really about it. Let me just say it.
That's Jim.
I'm sure there's other ones, but Sunwink.
Does it kind of have like a really weak taste to it, or just like too much?
It tastes like slightly carbonated tea, but it's not like the same amount of carbonation that you'd find in like a like kombucha type of thing, where it like hits the back. Like a lot of kombuchas will hit like the back of your throat type of thing. I don't know. It's trying to play the kombucha game, and I don't think it's doing
Everybody
it
can
for
play
me.
that.
Not quite there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice try though.
Yeah, nice try. I will probably continue to drink this, but not for me. Anyways,
Cool.
all right, we're done with the bevs. Let's talk about some big moves that happened. We've had a full day and a half at this point, more closer to a day, to think about the trade deadline and what happened. There was a ton of stuff that happened, and let's just talk about the biggest winners and losers. You know, yeah, Tyler, who do you think's the biggest winner from the trade deadline?
I got to go with the Magic. They made the right choices. They blew it up when they probably should have blown it up last year, but they didn't make the mistake that Vlade made by waiting too long, and they got like a good haul for all the guys that they got. I mean, would they get like 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, some young guys, expiring contracts? Like they are primed to tank super hard and just have tons of assets going forward. And I think they did a really good job blowing it up. So go Magic. I hope that they can come out of this better than before. Because I mean, they haven't been relevant since the Dwightmare. So it's been like a good 10. You know, they've been like mediocre for a while. So I hope they rebuild properly, but I think they have the tools to do so this time around.
Jeez. Yeah, I think I was a freshman in high school the last time the Magic, like when Dwight was there. Dwight Howard was my absolute favorite player in those days. Like I freaking love that guy, and I love that team. Hito was on there. Like I absolutely love that team. But yeah, that was probably my freshman year of high school, I think, was when they were last relevant.
What was that, like 08, 09?
Yeah.
No. Well, Dwight, they went to the finals in 09.
Yeah,
they
that
lost
was the year they went to the late finals against the Lakers.
The Lakers, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Magic fans think about that last time they were relevant in much the same way that we think of the last time the Kings were relevant.
Yeah, that's why I think we feel for him so much. We're just like, dude, we get it.
Except they've been in the playoffs.
Yeah,
like they've been swept a bunch of times, but they also like were like plucky. If you remember, I think it was last year.
I think so.
No, it was 2 years ago. I think DJ Augustine hit like a game winner over Giannis.
Yeah.
And then they lost 4 consecutive games thereafter. But nice.
Okay, but hear me out. This Magic squad that's been together since like 2014, I don't think they were much better than like the DeMarcus Cousins, Rudy Gay, Darren Collison Kings. Like if that team had been in the East, they probably could have made the 8th seed and maybe like done about as well as the Magic did these past few years. I just think they've benefited from being in the East.
Oh, guaranteed.
Absolutely. No question.
Yeah, the Kings would have been a tougher cover in the playoffs for sure, just because DeMarcus Cousins was a one-man wrecking team. Like,
better than Vucevic easily.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we've watched Isaiah Thomas kill it in the playoffs too. Like,
yeah. Let's not go there. Too many sad memories.
Too much repressed pain in there.
Yeah. I think the Magic did a good job, and I think as Kings fans, maybe we might be looking at it from a distance and longing for that blow up, that realization, and kind of capitalizing on trade assets or like players at their highest. Certainly, like Nikola Vucevic, that trade happened at his highest trade value. Aaron Gordon probably about his highest. Like,
Yeah. And here's the key for those trades. They all have reasonable contracts that are tradable, unlike our guys that are unreasonably paid. You know, if they were all making 18 a year, we could have traded them for pretty good value. But Lottie went and paid him too much. We couldn't trade him.
The thing I will say is like when Fournier like signed his extension, people were like, what? That's a ton of money for that guy. I think it was like 2 years, 39 million or something like that off the top of my head. And then Aaron Gordon's being paid 15, 17, 18 million dollars a year or something like that too.
Contract's pretty solid.
Yeah. So
Alvin, who do you think was the winner? Do you agree the Magic or?
Oh, good question. I don't know. I might say the Mavericks.
JJ Redick.
Yeah, they didn't do all that much, but
get JJ Redick, huh?
They got JJ Redick.
That was an under the radar, like no one really talked about that.
And they got rid of who they trade?
James Johnson.
James Johnson.
I think it was James Johnson, a second round pick, and someone who wasn't playing. Wes Iwundu is what I'm seeing here. So
okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that'll make sense. They're already rolling, like, and they have a lot of players. They're playing well. They're just missing some shooting. Even though they're shooting well, they are missing Seth Curry, like
big time,
missing that. So pretty under the radar, doesn't impact their future or anything like that, and it pays to have like a veteran like JJ Redick in the fold too. So I think that'll be good.
Cool.
Yeah. Nick, what you got?
So my winner is the Miami Heat, who managed to land Oladipo without having to give up like anything. No, they didn't have to give up a single young asset, any of their young players, any picks or anything like that. They literally gave up a bunch of guys who are like insignificant, not insignificant, but like going to a Houston team that is obviously like the worst or second worst in the league, like aren't going to make a difference in any way for them. And then they got like a pick swap out of it in like a couple years. Like, so they were able to land a guy in Oladipo who can, be like maybe that last piece that they needed to kind of take them over the top, give them extra scoring and shooting and defense and all that kind of stuff. And they still kept like their entire team intact. So I think that's huge for them. And on top of that, LaMarcus Aldridge just got bought out, and it seems like they're the most likely place for him to go to. So they're going to be absolutely stacked without having to give up any of their like young guys. They didn't have to sacrifice their future in any way, and still got like top level talent guys out of it. And all their guys are getting healthy again. They're starting to, like the Mavericks are, they're starting to kind of get rolling, and kind of just like everything's trending in the right direction for them. So yeah, definitely the Miami Heat, in my opinion.
Not to mention Bielitsa for like nothing.
And they got Bielitsa. Yeah. I almost forgot about that. Shoot. Yeah, they're stacked.
Yeah, I'm very jealous that they're able to do stuff like that. They like, just think of the team that they had a few years ago. They did not have like their best player was like Josh Richardson, and now like out of nowhere they have Victor Oladipo. Bam Adebayo's like been insane. They have Tyler Hero. They have Duncan Robinson, like all these players.
I can't believe they didn't have to give up any of those guys to get Oladipo. Like not even like Duncan or Kendrick Nunn, like none of those guys, like or a pick or anything. They literally just like were like, here, just give us Oladipo, and they're like, sure, here you go.
Well, yeah. I'm sure that the trade market for Oladipo is like super icy out there. Like
he's been bad in Houston.
I mean, but I gotta think they still could have gotten something, like at least like a late first rounder or a future first, like something.
I thought they were gonna get a pair of second rounders, maybe. Like what Fournier got, I don't know. But I guess he had no value. So
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. So yeah, Miami Heat for sure.
Yeah. Should we talk about the Bulls as just like a consolation prize? I'm sure everyone else is talking about the Bulls.
Yeah, I was tempted to pick the Bulls, but I thought one of you guys was going to pick them, so I chose the Miami Heat instead. But yeah, Bulls absolutely, I think, won as well. They're definitely up there.
Well, they definitely got like they not only acquired the best player in the trade deadline, but they like continue to do that in the future when they trade Daniel Tice or for Daniel Tice and
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that too. They've got a like decent setup now, all of kind of out of nowhere. Like
Here's my question though. How old is Zach LaVine?
25.
He's 25.
I think so.
Vooch is 30. So what's your window? I mean, I guess it's kind of like the Suns with Booker and Chris Paul.
Yeah. Also, the way Vooch plays, that's going to last him for another good few years. I think like he can still play at a pretty high level for the next.
You think he's got 5 years left?
Yeah, I'd say 3 to 5 years for sure.
Yeah, and he's not overly paid or anything. So
yeah.
On a good contract. Chicago is a big city. It's a desirable place to go.
Yeah.
They have other players around and they still have Patrick Williams. They have
who's only gonna get better.
Markkanen and Kobe White. They still need some upgrades though.
I'm pretty out on Kobe White personally, but
I think they are too. They were trying to get Lonzo and that didn't happen.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
Which is too bad because that would have been cool.
Yeah, Alonzo would be sick next to Levine.
It's just like why I don't know why the Pelicans would trade Lonzo. I don't know unless they get like a package where like it makes their team demonstrably better now or in the future. Like I think Lonzo is a great compliment to Zion or Brandon Ingram, like and the two of them.
Yeah, I never really understood that either. I was like, why would you want to get rid of him? Like age, everything fits perfectly, and he's a really great compliment to them.
Yeah, and he's shooting lights out right now too. Like
and he's tall too. I mean,
yeah, you get elite
6'6".
defense out of him, elite playmaking, size. Now he's shooting better, so you get that too. Like it's just like, why would you not want to keep Lonzo? I feel like I don't know. He's an easy target for people to shit on without ever actually thinking about how good he is, and like he's only going to get better, I think. And like he's just someone who just I don't care what team he's going to, he's going to make you a lot better. Yeah,
totally. And he's not going to cost that much money, I don't think. Maybe like what Bogdan got or something, which isn't bad.
Yeah, I'd take that.
18 a year or something.
Yeah, I think that would be an awesome contract for him for what provided his like shooting stays. So like to me that means like whoever the shooting coach is with the Pelicans, like he deserves a freaking raise. Like I've
heard about like that guy, the specific coach.
Yeah, whoever that is, they deserve the world. Like and the Kings should be like paying a lot of money for him. I guess one more winner. Can I say another winner is Terrence Ross?
Why is Terrence Ross the winner?
Bruh, I don't. Did you like look at his Twitter feed?
That tweet where he's like, "I'm the
captain now." Yeah,
yeah. There's like the one where he's just like, there's like the GIF where there's a guy just like fanning himself profusely, and he's like sweating all over the place. There's just like crying face emojis that he's like tweeting out, and
he's pretty much got free reign to just start chucking for the rest of the season and just kind of do whatever he wants to, basically. He's like,
how did he not get traded? Yeah, like he's on like a decent contract. He's a pretty good player. Like, how did they not get rid of him?
Yeah,
I'm just really surprised by that.
I don't know, because he's such a good sport, you know. He's the captain now, so
he's the captain now. That's all
they need leadership. All right, losers.
Freaking
losers. All right. Who wants to jump in here? Who wants to be a hater?
Corey Joseph getting dumped to Detroit. Bye.
Yeah, poor guy. Great guy,
Ugh.
but God, I'm not gonna miss him. I feel like the very obvious losers are the Houston Rockets, in my opinion,
Oof.
who chose Oladipo over Karis LeVert and then got nothing in return for Oladipo when they traded him away. So it's like they could have just had Karis LeVert, who's like back and he's like crushing it now. And like that could be your one of your centerpieces to build off of going forward. But you chose Oladipo instead for no reason. And then you got nothing back for him in return. And I could not be more sympathetic towards Steven Silas right now. Like I feel so bad. Like you see the video of him like a few days ago and in like the press conference after a game, it was like after their 20th loss, and he's just like sitting there like this, just like trying so hard not to just like break down in tears. Like it was like the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did see that. And to see a guy just like grind and grind and grind and then finally
yeah.
get his dream, and expecting, because like Rockets leadership is just like, yeah, we're gonna find a way to keep James Harden here and we're gonna fortify around him. Like,
God. That sucks. None of it's his fault. That's what's such a bummer. It's just like, what am I supposed to do with all this?
well, here's the other thing. We got to remember that when he like signed a contract with the Rockets, they still had Westbrook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still had like the same roster that they had last year.
Yeah. Yeah. They still had PJ Tucker. They still had all these guys. Like,
Covington. Yeah.
and then they were killing it with Christian Wood out there, even after like, well, they weren't killing it, but they were playing pretty well, like above expectations.
Yeah.
Like, and then Christian Wood goes out and then falls apart. So, yeah.
Yeah. Houston.
Bummer.
Definitely big
Yeah.
time losers here.
Yeah. He himself might be the loser here. And I feel for him.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, who you got?
Well, I said Corey Joseph just getting dumped.
Oh gosh, we shouldn't laugh at that because that happens with like other players too. I'm sure the Heat fans are just like, Mo Harkless just got dumped. Like,
Well, I mean, think about it, like same with like Kelly Olynyk just getting dumped to Houston. Here he was thinking he was going to go back to the finals. Then nope, you're getting dumped.
Yeah, dude.
oh
It just sucks, dude.
Dumb.
yeah,
Dumped, gone.
yeah.
Ugh. I don't think any team clearly lost besides Houston. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like I can't think of like any really bad trades besides the Oladipo one. I didn't really get the Rondo and Lou Williams trade because like the Clippers gave 2 second-round picks to Atlanta along with Lou Williams to get Rondo. Like I don't really understand
I know
the
like
idea behind that trade.
Lou Williams has not been very good this year. Like
I
he's
guess I
not
didn't realize
been
that.
up to snuff and doing what he usually does. And they've
Hmm.
been like so incredibly desperate for a point guard for I don't know how, like for quite a while. And I know like Kawhi is like not happy about it. And so they were like, we need to get something. I thought they were going to get Lonzo because that's what everybody was saying. They were going to
Right,
go after
yeah.
Lonzo, but I guess I don't really know how many assets the Clippers have anymore. So like I don't really know what you could give them for Lonzo. That's the problem. They gave up all their assets for Paul George. So it's like, I mean, I guess Rondo will do, maybe playoff Rondo will have another appearance. And
Yo. Oh,
what
hell
happens,
yeah,
but
dude.
I don't know. Who the
Maybe
hell
he'll counterbalance playoff P, like maybe Rondo can
could just
help
be
playoff
just
P.
a normal average player. Like the god awfulness of
Oh my
Paul
gosh.
George playoff P with the playoff Rondo to they're just
I love playoff Rondo.
they're fine. They're just okay.
I wish that we could have seen playoff Rondo when he was on the Kings. I know you guys, I don't know if you guys were here for that when Rondo was in
wasn't.
Sacramento. You're
No.
on your mission, that's right. Man, that would have been sweet to see playoff Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins. Oh,
Zero defense.
too bad. Too bad.
Yeah. Zero defense, a lot of messing with everyone else, like psychological warfare. That, you know what? what this trade tells me is that Rajon Rondo is the smartest player in the NBA. He went and got his money in Atlanta,
Shit, yeah.
and then he still went to a team that he wanted to go to.
Went right back to LA where he was before.
Yeah,
Yep.
to a contending team where like, yeah, and they gave up like assets for him. They gave him like second round picks. He's the smartest player in the NBA. That's it. I'm just gonna say it. That's
He's gonna be a coach one day. Like everyone says it. Like DeMarcus Cousins always said Rondo's gonna be a coach.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
He's a smart guy.
I don't doubt that he'll be good at what he does. Gosh. So I was listening to a King's Herald podcast like earlier this morning or whenever. They like if you ask them who is the biggest loser in the trade deadline, they would say the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have
I
paid
listened to that
attention
one yesterday and they were just bummed out. Like they were not happy about what we did. And I can understand why.
I don't get it. Like, what did they expect Monte to do? He can't trade Buddy Hield. That was Vlade's fault. He can't trade Barnes. Vivek wants to keep him. Like his hands are tied. So like, of course, he's just gonna make these little tiny deals.
Well,
So I don't get the outrage.
The argument they were making was that they probably could have traded Barnes if they really wanted to. And that these moves that they made probably make us a little bit better, which could potentially, mess up our chances draft wise. And at the same time, the one they seem to be really upset with was the signing of Delon Wright because of the cap implications that it has for next year with re-signing Richaun Holmes, which was something I was going to bring up later. Because like that was already a really tough situation. Like they were already like near like the end, like the salary cap to begin with, and now they just added like $8.5 million on top of that. So they have to this offseason get rid of Bagley or Buddy or Barnes, or else we literally we don't have anything to offer Holmes, and then he'll just walk for nothing, just like Boggs did last year. Which is that's not what you want.
They're also on King's Herald. I think it was on King's Herald. They're like pulling like different fans or different people from fan bases that might have money to sign Richaun Holmes. I don't know if y'all saw this.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like we were thinking like, okay, 4 years, 45 million, which is the max that we can offer Richaun Holmes as it stands right now. 4 years, 45 million. And they're just like, Charlotte Hornets, how much would you be willing to pay Richaun Holmes? And he said 4 years, 60 without a question. And we're just like, and in my head,
15?
I'm just like, oh my gosh.
I think that would be the highest I would be willing. I wouldn't be happy about that, but I would be probably willing to pay Richaun Holmes up to 15. Like that would be the absolute limit, I would say.
Yeah.
For Holmes. I'd be okay with it, but like I would really rather be like 12 to 13 or something like that.
But I'm thinking 12 and a half a year for 4 years.
I would do that in a heartbeat. Like I would absolutely, no question. Like I want him. I want to keep Richaun Holmes. I think he's awesome, and I think his value that he brings, and the fact that he wants to stay here, he would just be so sick going forward.
Yeah, 4 years, 60 million is about the limit, I think.
Yeah.
He's also the third best player on this team statistically this year. Like,
oh yeah,
and he's in every one of the best lineups in the Kings, like all of them.
Yeah, he's so valuable to this team. It's ridiculous.
Well, hopefully we can trade Buddy and Bagley and open up some space.
I'm willing to give Monty like the benefit of the doubt and have faith that he has thought about all of this, that he has some kind of a idea or plan of how he's going to go about the offseason to unload these shitty contracts from Vlade's era and be able to still re-sign Richaun Holmes. Like I have to believe that, because if he isn't able to get rid of any of those contracts and then for a second year in a row our most valuable asset walks for nothing,
it's going to be riots in Sacramento.
I don't even know what I would do, honestly. Like I would just like, Oh my God. Like that's just like I don't know if you can recover from that, honestly. Like, not anytime soon.
No. He's
And
lucky he drafted Halliburton.
Yeah, like the fact that he drafted Halliburton is like giving everyone that kind of like, okay, maybe, he's got something. But yeah. Yeah. And then the fact that like we seem to be trying to make a somewhat of a push to the play-in tournament, which then also hurts our chances of getting a higher pick and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I think there's 2 points I want to make here. One, like if all the intel is saying we want to keep Harrison Barnes and there's not a huge trade market for Buddy Hield, why would we just like assume anything other than that? Like, why would we assume that Monty's going to do that, right? Like, like whether or not they're unfounded, we have to like go on some of that at some level, right? So I think like some of the expectations that some Kings fans may have had, where like we're gonna blow it up, like I wasn't expecting that to happen.
No.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the Barnes Celtics thing was going to happen, but beyond that, nothing.
Yeah, I was still thinking that. Yeah, I didn't believe in anything else.
I was thinking Bielitsa was going to get traded, and that was it. Like,
yeah,
I wasn't thinking anything else. And it is what it is. The second point I want to make is it's so easy for us to just like whip out trades and be like, Monty, go get it done. Like in the group chat, I was just like, okay, we're going to trade Smart and Thompson for Barnes, Bielitsa, and Whiteside. And then we're going to trade Bagley for Markkanen. Easy. Like, light work. Like, it's not that easy.
Yeah. To see like the Pistons saying no to Bagley for Sadiq Bey was very eye-opening to me. Like, I knew his value was like bad, but and then my God, like that's scary.
Maybe if he hadn't gotten injured again,
I think
trade could have happened, but it's just like, dude, this is like his 4th injury in 3 years, not even 3 full years. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm so done with him.
Yeah. And the other thing is that, like, relating to this, as a fan or as someone who's just like, I want to look at trades, I have a tough time being gung-ho for like former lottery picks who haven't been panning out. I have a tough time being like, yeah, let's go do that trade, right?
Yeah.
And so like, while I'm like, yeah, let's go trade Bagley for Markkanen, even though he's like about to come up on an extension, he keeps getting injured all the time. Like, we can do that. Can we? Like, other people I'm sure feel the same way as me, where like they're super hesitant about like former lottery picks that are super down,
Yeah. Monty did like a press conference today talking about the deadline and all that kind of stuff and the moves they made.
Yeah.
And he mentioned, because someone asked about Bagley, and he mentioned that they expect him to be back in a few weeks or whatever. And the way he said it kind of led me to believe that maybe he could make it back to play the last little bit of the season, and then if they make it into like the play-in tournament or something, he can be there for that too. And I'm like thinking maybe he shows up, he plays okay the last couple games or whatever to show, hey, he's okay, guys, come on, like somebody take him. Like, that helps a little bit going into the off season, but I don't know. Who the hell knows at this point?
Hey, look, recovering from a broken hand doesn't mean that his second jump is gone. Like,
yeah, guys, the second jump. Come
on. I don't want to hear any more about that stupid thing.
Golly. All right. Well, I wasn't as down on the trade deadline, the Kings trade deadline, as I think a lot of other Kings fans were, mostly because I just didn't really have any expectations. So should we talk about some of the new faces on the Sacramento Kings?
Yeah.
Should we talk about Delon Wright, since he's the biggest name?
Yeah. All right. So Delon Wright, the trade was Delon Wright for Corey Joseph, a Lakers 2021 second rounder, which might be pretty good this year, oddly enough, and a Kings 2024 second rounder. All right, let's talk about Delon Wright, huh? So
First of all, let's go Utes. Let's
Can't show more
go,
of my
my
Utes stuff.
guy. He played there when I was at University of Utah, and he was fun, man. He was a fun guy to watch.
Yeah.
He was like definitely a slasher. He didn't shoot the ball a ton, but he's like a kind of a Swiss Army knife kind of a guy. So I'm excited to have him, and he's actually older than y'all might think. I think he's like 28 or 29.
Yeah,
I think he's like 28. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's
So he's not a young piece. He's definitely a vet, but he's cool. He's gonna be so much better than Corey Joseph.
Yeah.
Did he do 2 years at Utah or 1 year?
He did 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he did 2 years also at the City College of San Francisco. And for
Okay.
some reason, that's something that I know.
Yeah, I know he was a transfer. So
Yeah.
his last year, the Utes had him, Jakob Pertl, and Kyle Kuzma. And that was like the
That's
best
so sick.
team that Utah has ever had. And it was so much fun to watch those guys.
That's a pretty good team.
It was a
That's
dope
solid.
team, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, a bunch of
solid.
first-round picks. Kyle Kuzma, man. I loved watching him in Utah. It was so sick. But
Yeah.
go Utes.
Kuzma was
Yeah,
good.
excited.
Yeah. I guess we can talk a little bit about like a lot of other teams beforehand. I'm thinking like the Mavericks in particular. Like they had a sign and trade for him, and they expected him to be like a really good complement to Luka, to be able to play off ball and that type of thing. And it just kind of so happens that Delon Wright's kind of a point guard. Like
Yeah.
he just happens to be kind of big. Like
Which I think works for us because we desperately needed like someone to come off the bench who can be a point guard and kind of lead the second unit. And I think he fits like perfectly into that. Like the cap thing, like is the only thing that like really worries me about it. Outside of that, I absolutely love that trade. Like I think he'll fit in perfectly. He can play off ball. He can be the point guard coming off the bench. Like he can bring you defense and size and all that kind of stuff. And he just fits the role that like we've been needing now that Halliburton's starting. Like he can come in and fit that perfectly. So I think it's an awesome trade outside of the whole cap situation.
Yeah, agreed.
yeah, I'm excited to have someone who's like reliably decent. Like you know what you're gonna get from him. And people might look at like his statistics or whatever and be like, oh, he's been producing a ton in Detroit, but it's just because his minutes have gone up. Like his per 100 possessions, his per 36 minutes are all relatively consistent since his last year in Toronto, really. Like, so.
And he was like a big deal in Toronto in their bench mob. Remember that a couple years ago? It was like him and Jakob Pertl, and I don't remember who else they had, but they had like a really nice little bench group, and he was a big part of that. They really boosted their playoff run.
Was Kojo there at the time? I don't think so.
I think Kojo was in Indiana.
Yeah, at that point. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, I'm excited to have Delon Wright. I'm guessing re-signing Rashawn Holmes is going to be a priority, and the Kings are going to find a way to make it happen. Like,
oh yeah,
it is that's what it is. And I think it's just like one more bite at the apple this year. And even if it's not the case, but one more bite at the apple, we're going to try and make the play in, see what we can do with this core, and then evaluate at the end of the season. So,
yeah, I think when it comes to like that mentality, I'm okay with it to an extent because I think that also can be really good in like development of like Fox and Halliburton, all those guys to actually start trying to play like winning basketball and like actually make it to something like that. Like a play-in or the actual playoffs itself or something like that. Like that can be huge for kind of taking that next step and developing too. So like if that is what happens and that does help them, like then I'm all for it.
yeah, we don't really have a choice. So
no, we don't.
Just try and enjoy it. Like that's about it. Like I
It'd
think
be great.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we move on? More new faces?
Let me think here. So like Mo Harkless is cool. I know he like hasn't really played. He just didn't work out in Miami. But I mean, he's only like a year or two removed of like being a really important part of like Portland when they were making it to like the Western Conference Finals and stuff like that. So like I could see him with a change of scenery, maybe getting a kind of second wind and helping out with our defense a lot. I just don't want him to take up Robert Woodard minutes. That's it. Like I'm still pulling. I'm still pretty on the Robert Woodard hype train, pretty hard.
Bench
So,
press God.
dude,
Yep.
just give him all the minutes. Give them to him.
I have a feeling that Mo Harkless is going to get minutes over Woodard. So
I've pretty much accepted that. Like I know it's going to happen. I know Luke Walton's going to be like, here you go. Here's 20-25 minutes. Go. And I'm not. And maybe he'll be cool, but I'm not going to be happy about it because
I think he's our Cory Brewer of this like second half of the season. Just like that extra veteran wing to help bolster the roster. But
Cory Booker.
Cory Brewer.
Sorry.
Cory Booker is
Cory Booker ran for president. He's a
joke.
senator.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, senator of New Jersey. Like,
Cornball.
Cory Brewer is
corny.
Yeah, he's the corniest dude I ever seen.
Yeah, he's such a freaking he's such a cornball for sure. Cory Brewer, I think, is like on the coaching staff of the Celtics or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
No, maybe
for
it's
him.
Evan Turner. I can't remember.
I think it is Evan Turner. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. They're all kind of the same to me. I hate to say it. Anyways. All right. Chris Silva got a really cool story. Like, he's the second part of the trade, the Mo Harkless and Chris Silva for Nemanja Bjelica trade. Fuck it, we deserve this win. I hope he wins a lot in Miami. I think he's a great pickup by them. So
He deserves it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely deserves it. He's never been on a winning team, and he's a winning player in
Has he
Miami.
really
Just
never
the
been-
Wolves and the Kings.
Oh, literally like the two worst places to go. Like my
He
God.
almost went to the Sixers, and then
Yeah.
he inexplicably chose the Kings, which I think is just because we were offering him more money. But
Yeah.
Well, because Vlade too. You know,
Yeah.
because Vlade apparently likes to get other Serbs to play for him besides Luka Doncic.
Except for the best one ever.
dude, if I were a
But
GM
that's-
of the Kings, I'd do everything in my power to get Eric Spoelstra and
I would
Jordan
love
Clarkson.
Just
Sack
get
him
all the
out.
Filipino.
Kai Soto, the 7-2 center, who's like in the Philippines right now.
Get that homie who played for Utah, that Filipino
Oh
guy.
my gosh, yeah, what's his name?
I'm surprised you're not talking more about drafting Jalen Green for that same reason.
Oh,
'Cause he's going to be the big time Filipino that like crushes it.
There was some hype there because Kai Soto was supposed to be on the G League Ignite too, and it was going to be like Filipinos are storming the G League. Like, what's
Just
next? The
taking
NBA?
over the
'Cause
NBA.
Kai Soto was it was supposed that he was going to be a first round pick at the very least because he's just like mobile shooting 7-2 center, like so.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well,
Chris Silva, really cool story. He's from Gabon, like in Africa. Incredible story. Came here to the US, didn't really speak any English, just like grinded his way to a contract with the
Cool.
Miami Heat. I like looked at like a lot of like Heat blogs and like Heat Reddit. I try not to be on Reddit, but I like looking at what fans think about players. And they all said like we were hoping for him to be the next Udonis Haslem, like hard worker, excellent example, like keeps everyone grounded, is a Heat lifer, is what they were thinking. And
he's got a pretty good motor, right? That's kind of what I heard. Just like
Yeah.
energy guy.
Yeah, good size.
yeah, maybe not the most naturally talented, but he's kind of person who's going to use everything that he has at his disposal. So,
Cool.
yeah. So we'll see if he gets minutes. I'd love for him to get minutes over Mo Harkless. Heat fans were just like, why is Chris Silva getting minutes over Precious Achua, or why is he getting minutes over like Mo Harkless? And it's because he's out working everyone. So
Yeah.
Cool.
We need more guys like that. You can always get more guys like that. It's contagious.
Definitely.
yeah, I like looking at players and just like, are they going to help me win games? And maybe Mo Harkless isn't that player. Nemanja Bjelica is that kind of player where if you have him, he's gonna do what it takes, do what he can. And I think Chris Silva, at least from like what fans are saying, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Less can be said about Terence Davis, who was traded for a 2021 Memphis pick. Does anyone want to talk about him? Otherwise, I can.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him, so
I just know that he's definitely got some issues. Is the investigation still like ongoing with the NBA? Are they still, or is that, or the case? I couldn't remember if it was closed or
I
not.
think it's with the state of New York.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. And I don't know a whole lot of details. I just know that it was he had a count of like assault on his girlfriend. He like punched her in the face or something like that.
I think there are 7 different counts. 5 of them have been
few.
dismissed.
Yeah.
damn. Okay.
Yeah. So he also infamously showed up to the bubble last year with a mask with a hole cut in it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good culture guy. Cool.
Yeah,
Maybe
great culture guy. Really, that's
Silva
why
can
you gotta have
cancel
Chris
him out as
Silva.
far as culture goes. Yeah, they like the Paul George Rondo thing. They can just even each other out.
Chris Silva's our Rondo, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, it's.
I mean, like purely just from a basketball standpoint, like that's a pretty good addition. Just because he's young and he was killing it last year as like a undrafted rookie, and the potential's there to be a really cool piece coming off the bench who can do a whole bunch of stuff. So like the basketball side is like, yeah, that's a pretty cool. Yeah, he's young, so there's that too. So
it's value.
Absolutely.
What it is.
Yeah.
He's gonna be better than your average second round pick.
Yeah.
So here's what Raptors fans have been saying. They were super stoked on him. If y'all remember Coach Daniel YouTube channel, he's one that when he was making YouTube videos, I was really following, but he's since joined the Dallas Mavericks like video coordinator team, I guess, and scouting team, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so he's not making videos anymore, but he made a video on Terence Davis and how like as a rookie he was like really advanced in like his footwork. He like uses all of his athleticism both on offense and defense. He like stays within his like boundaries. He like he was making quick decisions, like 2 dribbles and either a pass or shoot move, like that type of thing. Like really good. This year, Raptors fans have called him Mr. Inconsistent.
Yeah.
So one game he'll do really well, and next game he'll just look like he's lost all over the place. So it seems like basketball IQ might be a little bit of an issue, but he's got a bag of moves, and if you can put it together, he can be like a core member of any team.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're describing Scalabicier a little bit. Am I wrong?
I mean, I would never say Scalabicier was like really great one night, and like he was mostly just like his rookie year. He had like a couple of moments of like, oh wow, this could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And like you knew he was like the potential, like coming out of high school, he was like the number 1 guy. So you're like, okay, that has to be there. And then he was just a black hole after that, basically. But
the last time Scalabicier got minutes, he put up 28 and 11
with Atlanta.
That was on the Sacramento Kings, guys.
Oh, was
he
that
was
last...
Portland, and he put it up on the Kings, and the Kings lost. Like,
was that the last game of
That's right.
Jaeger? The last, yeah, where he like we were like destroying them in the first half.
You're up by like 40.
Yeah, he like sat all of the starting 5 for the
yeah, that's
and then
right.
we just got blown out. And it was frustrating because that would have been our 40th win. And I was just like, just let us get the 40th win. Like, let us get that one thing. Like, just to not have a 30-win season for once. But back to kind of present day Kings shit. One thing I like about all these trades is that we got younger, but still like got, I guess, more depth and a little bit better at the same time. So he was able to get value that still fits our kind of timeline. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. The Terence Davis, like those cases, I frankly need to know more before I can like make any decisions there. But not a great example set. Based on his prior actions, and that's an issue for sure. But there is value in these moves. Not to mention the Fiondo Cabangeli trade, who's been since been cut. Jabari Parker got a buyout too. Like I forgot he was on the team. Like
same.
Hey, here's a fun fact. A girl in my church dated Jabari Parker.
That's cool.
Did you say anyway, cool?
Yeah.
Was he a good guy?
I didn't talk to her about it. I just heard that she did.
Huh.
Oh.
It's like
bring her on the pod, man. Let's talk about former Kings,
Get
man.
the insight on Jabari Parker. Former second overall pick Jabari Parker.
Second overall pick from Duke got a buyout from the Sacramento Kings. Who else does that sound like?
I know that.
Oh no!
I know the Kings Herald like did a joke. They like posted on like an article yesterday with the big headline like Kings release former second overall pick or something like that to make you think.
Did they?
Oh so hard.
Yeah. Just trolling.
I feel so bad for those Kings Herald people. Like they gotta watch every game. Like no wonder they're so jaded.
And they do a great job too. Like
yeah, they do.
They get it. They're hilarious. Like yeah, they grind it out, man.
Yeah.
They all must be masochists. I mean, come on.
You have
they've just gotta be.
You have to be a masochist to some extent to be a Kings fan for as long as we have.
But go ahead.
I think it just means that if you're a Kings fan, so many other things are going so well in your life.
You gotta have one bad thing.
If nothing was going right, man, then Tyreek Evans getting the 4th overall pick when you were the worst team, like that would just set you over the top. Like if you were just like had nothing else going on, and like there's so many different times with the Kings where you're just like, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
And yet we keep watching and we make podcasts and we write.
Anyone who's just like distraught about their life and what's going on around them and that type of thing, just be a Kings fan. You'll see things change. Maybe. I don't know. Like
at least we're loyal.
Yes.
Like, anytime you start like dating someone new and they're like they've been hurt before or something, just be like, yo, don't worry, I'm a Kings fan. I'm gonna leave you. I got you. I'm here for you no matter what. I'm a Kings fan.
Yeah. I'm a believer. I believe in everyone around me. Literally, yeah.
Here we stay.
What about this King squad? Do you believe in this King squad to make the play-in? Hot take time. Go.
Half game out of the 10th seed.
No.
Wait, what'd you say?
Half a game out of the 10th seed.
Yeah, we're like right there, which I'm not happy about, but it is what it is. So I'm just gonna steer straight into the skid. Let me take a look here.
Our schedule is not bad, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at stuff right now, like the Warriors, like Steph Curry's out for, I don't know how long he's out for with this tailbone injury. But I could see the Warriors falling off pretty hard. Like they look terrible. They look god awful last night without they don't have anybody. The Grizzlies, I think we could hang with them. Like De'Aaron Fox always kind of makes Ja Morant, like he does to Ja Morant what Damian Lillard does to him, basically. So I could see us beating the Grizzlies. Spurs kind of around the same. It's like it's possible.
And
I
the
don't- I mean, I'm
Lakers
not
are
gonna say-
without. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but I could see it us possibly getting in there. But we would have to beat the Spurs to do that. So
And we play the Lakers a few times, but they don't have AD or LeBron, so
yeah,
we can easily beat them without those guys. They're not that tough depth wise, but
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I think I'm fine with anything that happens. There's no way that we don't get a semi decent pick.
yeah,
Like, in the
I
draft.
agree with that.
Like
I've
there's no
There-
way.
yeah. There's a couple different guys even in right outside of the lottery that I would still be pretty happy getting. So
Even if we make the play-in tournament like as like a 10th or a 9th seed, like that's still range for someone who can contribute. Like,
yeah.
which it is what it is. I'm just sad that Jabari Parker can't be here to experience that.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro.
by the way, he's done, right? Like he's done playing in the NBA. I don't think anybody picks him up. Like he's got to go to
can't-
Europe or China.
Yeah, I
Like
can't imagine him.
there's
getting
no
picked up
way.
again. Like he literally just it sucks, man, because he was starting to figure it out in Milwaukee. He was he like their sixth man, and he was like almost sixth man of the year right before he tore his ACL.
He was every
Like, he
bit the like 1B to Giannis.
Yeah, like he was.
I remember
super
that
dope.
being the case. He was like, let me look up his stats really quick, but I remember him being like, everyone was just like, yeah, Jabari Parker and Giannis Antetokounmpo, like
Yeah, that
that's
was
gonna
going to
be
be
a
the
great
big.
tandem.
Yeah.
And Chris Middleton. Imagine that big three.
Oh man, that's such a bummer, dude. Like they would all complement each other really well.
Okay, Jabari's third year in the NBA. 20 points per game on 49% shooting, 37% from three on 3.5 threes per game, 3 assists and 6.5 rebounds.
Dude, that's
But-
good.
But no defense, right? I mean,
Yeah, but then you have Middleton and Giannis
yeah,
as
that's
your
true.
guys who can make up for that. When you're scoring 20 a game with that level of efficiency, you can look past his kind of his lack of defense. If you've got freaking Giannis as your anchor defensively, and you've got Chris Middleton, who's also like a top tier defender too. So like,
Damn.
you add-
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I hate seeing stuff like that. The
Yeah.
injuries just ruining guys' career, like team legacies. Sucks.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't see him getting picked up again. I just can't. He'll go
No.
to Europe or China or something.
I wish him the best in whatever his next chapter might be.
Yeah,
for
always
sure.
seemed like a good dude.
Storm and Mormon. Go get it, man. Figure it out in Europe.
Go
Go play with Jimmer.
Go play with Jimmer.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
could very well go do
yeah.
that. Yeah.
That'd be. I'd pay to watch that, man. That'd be cool. Maybe not pay. Well,
You'd
If I was
stream it
there-
illegally.
yeah,
We
I'd
don't
yes.
stream
stream
it.
stuff illegally though.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
Never.
No, I don't.
yeah,
That's
we don't
bad.
do that. So, any last remarks, hot takes before we close?
Just I don't know. That yeah, I'm just kind of here for the rest of this season. I won't be sad if we lose games. I won't be super stoked if we win games. I'm just kind of here. And I just want to see Halliburton continue to be great. And what he did last night to dude from the Warriors was
Oh,
so nasty, and I love it.
mixed him.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Is that the guy who married like Steph Curry's sister? Steph Curry's sister? I think so.
I
I
thought
don't know.
I think they're part of the bloodline.
maybe, but yeah, he got his ankles shattered and then like stroked an N1-3 on him.
Yeah. It was
great.
nice.
Oh yeah. So I just want to keep seeing Halliburton, and let me see some Robert Woodard. Not asking for much. Just let me see that.
Yeah. I don't
Also-
need to see any Jeremias Ramsey or James, like
Justin James.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't.
Give me some Woodard.
Yeah, I just want to see Woodard and Halliburton.
Also, shout out Fox for being the best player in the NBA these past like 5 games. Like,
He's been
dude
so good.
is cooking.
He's so
Averaging like
good.
30 points a game this month. Holy shit.
He's making it look easy too. Like watching him the last couple of games, like he just knows how to play now. Like he just knows how to get to his spots. Like he half the time he just looks like he's just doing a workout, just kind of
Mhm.
messing around and
Yeah.
that's great.
He's an
Yeah, you
all-star now.
always in prospects. I like looking for smoothness, and he used to be pretty herky jerky. Like when he
Yeah.
came in NBA the first couple of years, like
Just flooring it.
so smooth. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of smoothness there. So
Yeah.
all right, so you know what? As Kings fans, let's just celebrate the small things.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate us being loyal people. Let's just say once again, Kings fans are loyal, you know, and we wish the best for Jabari Parker, and you know, see what happens this year. So, if there's nothing else, we want to thank everyone for listening to the Bev Boys basketball broadcast today. You know, don't forget to subscribe, check us out on YouTube. Give us that like, give us that comment, tell us why we're bad at what we're doing in our spare time, or tell us why we're great at it. Anything that is nice to us is always awesome. So thanks. Have a good day, y'all.
Yeah. Thank you. Stay sweet.
You guys.